Hello again everyone, welcome back to my Kontakt tutorial videos. This will be the first video in the effects section. So this is just going to be a general overview of how you can add effects to each group. And then gradually we'll develop it and start messing around with sends and modulation and so on and so forth. But for now we'll just stick to groups. As you can see, I'm working within the same drum patch that we had open in the last session. Just following through, making it a bit easier. So to start off with, I'm going to close the wave editor just so that I've got a bit less on my screen. It just makes it easier to get through. Now effects are where creativity starts to take over. So this isn't a tutorial video of you will do this to this sound and you will do this to this sound. This is purely showing you where the effects are and how to apply them, and then you can just let your creativity go wild and come up with whatever you want to. So with that in mind, we shall, as we've got the kick group selected already, let's work with that. Just like everything else within Kontakt, once you've gotten your head around how it all works, then it just, you know, you can start seeing it, and it's such an intuitive interface that it's really easy. So the group effects are, if we think that it's kind of layered, the group effects would be the first layer, your send effects would then be the next layer, your modulation would be the next layer above that, and then finally you get right the way out to instrument effects and patching and routing and so on and so forth, but we'll come to all that later. So effectively this is the first level of effecting. So I've scrolled down to the group amplifier. I haven't made this clear as such at the moment, but this area here applies for each group. It's not the same, you know, you can do some things for the kick group in this that won't be on the snare group. So that's one thing to bear in mind if you've applied EQ to one group and you want it to work on another one. You just have to remember the parameters that you've set, and then apply it to the other group. You don't really want to switch on edit all groups because then it will just do it to everything. So let's start putting some effects in. As you can see, you've got 6 effects here that you can add in, and 2 post amps. We'll come to this in another video. For starters, we'll just stick with these 6. So if we just click on this little plus symbol here, you can see that it brings up a drop box where you can add in your filters, your EQing, and some effects. Now for starters, let's throw in a 3-band EQ. As you can see here, it opens up the parameter section, and as it's a kick drum, let's put a high frequency cut on it. So what have we got going on here? So these are your frequencies down here, 1, 2 and 3, bandwidth. Right. So frequency 1, I'm assuming, is there. So frequency 3, if we pull that, bring the gain all the way down so we can see what we're doing. Right, there we go. increase the bandwidth and increase the frequency there. So there you go, you've got a nice little high pass, and it just tightens it up. As you can see over here, we have a bypass and a preset button. Self-explanatory. With the EQ on, put the bypass on, it takes it out of the system, out the loop, and you can hear the difference there. Put it back in, just tightens it up a bit. There we go. Self-explanatory EQ system. So let's start by, or let's put in another effect. What do we want to put in? Let's try the compressor. So as you can see, now that I'm on the compressor, the EQ has closed. Just to reopen that, you just click on it and it will bring it up again. So we've got the compressor open. Again, you've got your bypass and preset switch. Classic, enhanced and pro. I'm not 100% sure about these at the moment because I haven't really played around with them that much. And then your classic attack, ratio, release and threshold, as well as makeup gain, obviously. So we'll just see what that sounds like for now. There you go, you can hear it compressing. So if we bring the attack right down, release right down, ratio right up, and threshold right down, there we go. There you go, you can kind of hear it pumping a bit. Just going to bring up the attack a little bit. There we go, and bring down the ratio. And bring up the threshold a bit. And then bring up the release time. And then you can start playing with the makeup gain to level it out. There we go, that's a simple introduction to the EQ and compressor. Obviously, you know, you'd want to go into a bit more depth with it than just this, but just introducing you to it. So from here, going back down to your effects, you've got tape saturation. I don't know, let's try distortion on it. Why not? Again, you've got your bypass, your preset. You can switch between tube and transistor sounds. You've got your drive and your damping and another output. Stick it on transistor for now. Whack the drive up. There we go. Nice and simple to get your head round. So yeah, just kind of go into all these groups, add different effects, do different things. You know, you can start really tightening up the sound, applying EQ, compression. Yeah, it's all good fun. One thing I will just cover briefly, if you are working with a drum patch, again for realism, you can change the volume and the pan of each group, so you can pan your samples to sound like a proper kit, which is always handy. So we'll leave that there for now. Go away, have some fun with these group inserts, and I shall catch you on the next session where we're going to talk about sending the signal out to another bank of effects. So, have fun.